It's a big day at the Supreme Court, and the debate over how the coronavirus pandemic started is back in the news. That's where we're starting the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Jeff Pierre. It's Tuesday, February 28th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. At number 1, today the Supreme Court will hear arguments on 2 cases challenging President Biden's student loan relief program. The big question here is about the authority of the federal government and whether Biden has the power to grant such sweeping loan forgiveness. There's a lot at stake here for millions of people. Under Biden's plan, more than 40 million Americans could have up to $20,000 of their federal student debt canceled. Today's arguments will give us a sense of how the justices are feeling about the case, though a ruling is likely months away. This court has a conservative majority, so it has generally been skeptical about the power of the federal government. Number 2, a U.S. agency has changed its assessment of how COVID-19 started. This comes from a new analysis from a little-known team called the Z Division. It prompted the Energy Department to say with low confidence that it believes a lab accident in China likely started the coronavirus outbreak. This has reignited a debate over the origins of COVID-19. White House National Security spokesman John Kirby reiterated that there's no widespread agreement, even among U.S. intelligence.
There is not a consensus right now in the U.S. government about exactly how COVID started. There is just not an intelligence community consensus. And I would add that one of the things the president did was he's the one who tasked the national labs, which report up through the Department of Energy, to study this as well. So it wasn't just an effort that was confined to the intelligence community. That work is still ongoing. But the president believes it's really important that we continue that work and that we find out as best we can how it started.
The other primary theory is that it spread naturally from animals. The chairman of Fox News' parent company admitted that some of his TV hosts pushed election falsehoods. That's story number 3. This revelation came from Rupert Murdoch's testimony in a lawsuit, which was made public yesterday. Fox News is being sued for defamation by Dominion Voting Systems. That's an election tech company. In his testimony, Murdoch also said that he wished the network had done more to challenge false claims that the 2020 election was stolen. Number 4, violence continues to surge in the occupied West Bank. Vigilante Israeli settlers carried out a deadly and destructive rampage in Palestinian towns on Sunday night. It came hours after a Palestinian gunman killed 2 Israelis. This recent wave of violence began after Israel elected the most right-wing government in its history late last year. Since then, Israeli soldiers and settlers have killed at least 61 Palestinians. The risk of damage from hurricane winds will shift in the coming decades. That's story number 5. Nearly 30 million Americans across 18 states will face new threats from these destructive winds by 2035. This is according to a new analysis by The Post. Our Climate Lab team built a map that allows you to see the storm risk in your zip code. You can find a link to that in our show notes. The short answer for why this is happening is, you probably guessed it, climate change. Warming temperatures are helping to create more powerful storms on average and causing hurricanes to track farther north. Number 6, a popular artificial sweetener has been linked to a higher risk of heart attacks. These findings come from a new study and are talking about the sweetener erythritol. It's pitched as a healthy, natural sugar substitute and used in many low-calorie, low-carb, and keto products. The study looked at more than 4,000 people. However, the participants also had a high prevalence of cardiovascular disease in general, so experts say more research is necessary. And at number 7, Heinz has finally found the ketchup boat guy after an international search. The company had been looking for a sailor from Dominica who survived 24 days lost at sea with little more than a bottle of ketchup to keep him alive. Heinz said yesterday that it had finally found the sailor, Elvis Francois, in his native country. So I think it's fair to say that the company did catch up with him. Not only that, but Heinz plans to buy him a new boat with full navigational technology. And just like that, you are all caught up. Before you go, I wanted to tell you that you can listen to the 7, Post Reports, and other podcasts from the Washington Post ad-free on Amazon Music with your Prime membership. Wherever you listen, make sure you subscribe to our show so you never miss an episode. I'm Jeff Pierre, and I'll meet you back here tomorrow. If the dad police don't arrest me for that Heinz joke.